In the quiet night of Fall River, the blaring sirens shattered the silence. Flames roared through the windows, black smoke rising to obscure the sky. In an instant, a place once a haven for the twilight years turned into a scene of devastation. From there, a tragic night began, with cries for help, extraordinary efforts, and irreplaceable losses. CBS News reported on July 14 that 9 people were killed and more than 30 injured when a fire broke out at a nursing home in Fall River, Massachusetts, USA. The fire erupted around 9:30 p.m. on July 13 at Gabriel House, a facility dedicated to supporting the elderly. According to Fall River Fire Department Chief Jeffrey Bacon, when firefighters arrived, they encountered large flames and smoke billowing from the main entrance, with some individuals clinging to the outside of the building's windows, awaiting rescue. Speaking at a press conference following the incident, Chief Bacon stated that more than 30 people from the facility were taken to the hospital, and 5 firefighters sustained minor injuries. In addition to the 9 fatalities, 1 person remains in critical condition.
Thank you for being here tonight. About 9:30 tonight, we responded to an alarm at the Gabriel House, which is located directly behind me. Crews were met with heavy fire coming through the main entrance, and multiple people hanging out the windows looking to be rescued. An incredibly coordinated effort between the fire department and EMS and the police department. Multiple victims were rescued from the building and transported to local hospitals for treatment. Unfortunately, at this time, we do have fatalities and multiple injuries, and we're still working to get those numbers to you, and we're going to try to update you when we have them.
Did fire crews run into any issues when responding? Were there any obstacles in the way, or was it pretty smooth?
Nope, the fire attack was pretty quick. It was just a very smoky fire.
Do we know what caused at this point?
We do not. That's all under investigation.
Any injuries to firefighters?
There were 5 firefighters that were transported, mostly minor injuries.
Approximately 50 firefighters were dispatched, including 30 who were off duty. Additionally, Chief Bacon stated that every police officer in the city was present at the scene. The facility has 100 beds, and the fire department reported that around 70 people were living there before the fire broke out. City authorities have opened a temporary shelter for the survivors. On the morning of July 14, Fall River Mayor Paul Coogan and Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey visited the scene of the fire at Gabriel House Assisted Living Facility, where a horrific blaze broke out, claiming at least 9 lives and injuring more than 30 people. Governor Healey praised the courageous coordination of firefighters, police, and emergency medical personnel, emphasizing that their efforts led to the rescue of the majority of the nearly 70 residents, primarily elderly individuals unable to move on their own.
Tremendous tragedy last night in the city of Fall River, and my constant phone calls with the governor this morning, back and forth. She said, that's about it. I'm on the way down. I want to see this. I want people to know we support the residents of Fall River, and so obviously I want to turn it over to the governor right away, and I'll say it for the 50th time. The public safety people did a great job last night. Fire, police, EMS, EMA, to make sure they kept the losses at a minimum, as tragic as they were, those numbers. But the governor, as I said, was here with us in spirit, and now she wants to be here in person. So I'll turn it over to my good friend, Governor Mayor.
Thanks, Mayor. Good morning. I just want to reiterate everything the Mayor said about the incredible work of all of public safety in the Fall River community. Fire department, police department, EMS, EMA, there were a lot of volunteers who appeared on scene. And were it not for the heroic work, brave work of these men and women who showed last night, particularly our fire, police, and EMS, we would have seen much greater loss of life. As you can see, this is a fairly massive structure, massive facility. It housed nearly 70 people, and thank God the vast majority of them were able to be taken out. Most of them were people who needed help, as you see from some of the footage and what I've seen. These are people who were not able to move themselves. They were not mobile themselves, and therefore the work that fire, police, and EMS did to get people out was truly amazing. I'm also grateful that 5 firefighters who were treated at the hospital have been released. I'm glad for their safety. I just want to say to the families and friends of those who perished, I offer my condolences, deepest condolences and sympathy on behalf of the Commonwealth for this tragic loss. We lost 9 folks last night in this terrible tragedy, and our hearts and our sympathies are with their families. I pledge to the mayor and to the people of Fall River that my administration will do everything we can to offer support and assistance at this time. I know the teams here at the mayor's office and his folks have done a tremendous job getting people to their place of shelter down at the center. We'll probably go down there next, and very much in the process of now looking to rehouse this vulnerable population. But we'll continue to keep you updated. As we know, this matter is under investigation by the state DFS, and we'll provide updates as we receive them. But again, my heartfelt thanks and gratitude, deepest gratitude to police, the fire, to EMS, and to all the first responders who showed up last night and worked through the night to save so many lives. We're so grateful to all of them. And again, our deepest sympathies to family and friends of those who perished in this terrible, tragic fire. Thank you. Not at this time, but again, we haven't had a full opportunity to look at everything.
Initial attack lines were brought to knock the fire down, but at the same time, there were multiple victims hanging out the windows, screaming and begging for help and to be rescued. So, and quickly, we knocked down the fire quickly. All available assets were moved towards rescuing the individuals that needed help. And that's not just fire, it was police. Typically, police don't perform that function, but they did a tremendous job last night, and they saved countless lives in assisting the people that they could out of the building. EMS did an incredible job. They were set up right in this parking lot over here, triaging and getting the patients that needed the most care moved to the facilities that were appropriate for their level of care, while also treating the people that they could treat on scene and releasing them so that they wouldn't burden the hospital systems in the area. So it really was something that we planned for, hoping to never have to use, but I'm so glad that we do train for it, and I think it worked well last night.
The cause of the fire is currently under investigation. Previously, Massachusetts Fire Department spokesperson Jake Wark issued a preliminary statement about the fire, calling it a horrific tragedy and expressing condolences to the victims' families. Fall River, a city with approximately 94,000 residents, is located about 32 kilometers southeast of Providence, Rhode Island. The night of July 13 left not only ashes at Gabriel House, but also deep wounds in the heart of the Fall River community. Amid the smoke and flames, there were those who fearlessly rushed into danger to save lives. And in the eyes and words of the residents the following morning, there was unity and a silent farewell to those who could not return.